A man goes to the devil, mortgages his conscience, sells his soul. A man who sacrifices a one-day-old baby, the devil rewards him as the governor of a state. And you think he's successful? No. I sold my house in Lagos. We had a total budget that ran close to 500 million. And the moment you declare for governorship, every burial is on your head. Everybody becomes your campaigner, whatever burial, whatever school fees.
There is kidnapping all around.
9,000.
I will not very happy.
My name is Damilare Kwanlan. You're watching Legit TV. So I heard you talk about vying to become a governor in 2007.
Yeah.
Could you expatiate more?
And 2019.
In 2019.
Yeah. Some people are driven by the money they have to want to get into politics. Some others are driven by ideologies, concerned. And I happen to be one of those that is led or driven by concern for this country. And as a result, being able to run what you call ideological politics. I happen to be an incurable optimist. And so that's what I did in 2007. That's what I did in 2019. And for several people, theirs is shoot to kill, is run to win, and that's the mentality people have. I believe that we should start to have a group of people who run based on certain ideologies and to have supporters that stand for those ideologies. At the end of the day, if they win, good. If they don't win, they keep going. You know, this mindset that you must win the first time you get in, or it's an investment mentality, okay? It's not a service-driven mentality. And I'm starting to push that ideology, and I will tell you with every sense of responsibility that is starting to get to the people. I have an ideology that is called social governance ideology. It's an ideology that believes that government should be bottom to top and not top to bottom, with the sole purpose of bringing the citizens out of poverty. And for you to achieve this, we are looking at an ideology that looks at investment in rural areas, investment in micro, small and medium scale enterprises, investment in the people, and the focus of governance being the welfare of the people. I believe that the moment we start to look at governance from this change perspective, many things will start to change.
Right. I also heard when you mentioned selling your house for 500 million or thereabouts to run. Tell us about it.
Yeah, I sold my house in Lagos. And of course, I had a lot of other things that I had to put together. Why would I tell you how much I sold my house in Lagos? For goodness sake, I don't do that. But I know that we had a total budget that ran close to 500 million that we had to invest. I ran my campaign. I was probably the first person in 2005. Newswatch ran a 4-page, interview, Newswatch magazine, and the banner headline was, "I want to be governor." That's in 2005. So I ran that election because I had ideology to work on for 2 years. And the moment you declare for governorship, every burial is on your head. Everybody becomes your campaigner, whatever burial, whatever school fees. When you put all these things together within that period, that's about the amount of money that we spent, okay? And I did that. At the end, when it stopped, I did not even as much as wait to discuss with the incoming government, because I was not in for the bargain. I was in for the value, for the ideology. So, and everybody who knows me, they know me for that. In 2019, I did the same thing again. So what am I saying? It's that we need to start to have people who are incurable optimists, who are willing to pay a price. There's nothing you're going to do. I could sell my house because I could afford. I could sell a car because I could afford. Okay? But others are selling their houses and selling their cars plus their conscience. Okay? Because when I did that, there were a few things I ought to have done and I would have won election. But I, as a policy, insisted I will never do those things. If you set up to run for an election, elective office, success is not that you are voted into the office. Success is that you set up to run that race to the very best of your ability, putting in everything humanly possible and with integrity. Whatever is the result, success is that you did what you had to do to the best of your ability. A man goes to the devil, mortgages his conscience, sells his soul. A man who sacrifices a one-day-old baby, the devil rewards him as the governor of a state. And you think he's successful? No, he's not the success. Sooner or later, he's got to discover that he's laid a foundation that he's going to pay for. Right. And he will regret the day he ever became a governor. Right. Success is that man who set up to run for that same office with integrity, bringing innovation, bringing ideas, bringing solution, bringing everything, but was not elected. But he goes back home knowing that he's brought his very best. That is success.
Right.
So, yes.
Do you regret selling your house to...
Never, never. God has rewarded me with a lot more of that because I've never held any particular office. Never. I've never accepted any up till today. It took me 6 years in primary school, 5 years in secondary school, 6 years in the university for me to have the qualification to start life. Yes. So why do we always think that everything must happen today or never? I'm a perspective planner. I'm a long ranger. All I want to know is that I'm making steady progress on a daily basis. And the moment I'm able to indoctrinate the youths on this, I'm fine.
All right. The lot of many people who sell their houses like this to fund campaigns is that when they get there, they're going to recoup their money back.
I agree. There are two types of people who sell their houses. I've said it before. Or let's say three types. The foolish man who doesn't understand the implication. Number two, the nationalist, the patriot, who understands the place of sacrifice. He knows he's making a sacrifice. And third, the investor, the political investor. The political investor sells his house, sells his conscience, sells everything because he knows once I get in there, I recoup. Right. The nationalist in the middle sells those things because he knows I've got to make a sacrifice for things to work, to make a statement. People are not going to believe in me. I've got to show faith that I believe in what I want to do, so I make a sacrifice. And the foolish man who doesn't think sells his house, he has no backup plan, and at the end of the day, he doesn't get the office, he gets desperate and either starts to insult God or starts to compromise. I belong to that person, that strategic thinker who is a nationalist. I sold the house because I knew what I was doing, and the day it was over, the next day I was in my office. I never went to beg for any political office because I had a backup. Okay? I gave out what I could afford to give out. And it's like in 2019, I ran the elections. The day that it ended, the elections were held and everything. The next week, I brought over 100 people and empowered them between 10,000 and 100,000 naira. I'm running an empowerment scheme, which means that everything I spent was strategically put in place.
Right. So do you think you would ever one day become the governor of Akwa Ibom State?
You know, one of the things, let me tell you something about politics that people don't know. In Akwa Ibom State, 6 months to the elections, if anybody ever said that Udom was going to be the governor, they would laugh you to scorn. Because he was not even in the reckoning. He was not even a factor at all to reckon with. Nothing. There's been a man that was there. Ask any Akwa Ibom person. His name was Umanu Mana. He was the governor in waiting. Everything just turned like miracle. Nigeria is a country of anticlimax. Buhari had run for three consecutive times. He never won. It just took one realignment within a short period of time. Boom, and here he is a governor. Now, if you think, president, sorry. So the fact whether I'll be a governor or not, I'm called Governor General. Do you understand me? I'm already the governor in the heart of the people, not only in my state, but in my country. If God wants me to translate that into being a state governor, fine, but even if I'm not, I'll be as influential as can be. That's why, as at today, I'm putting up something that Nigerians are going to wake up and see me in the light of the people like the Awolowos, the Zigs, the Ahmadu Bellos. Do you understand me? Because I have brought a certain ideological tint into politics with the social governance ideology. And that is the first political ideology that is based on a specific section of the Constitution. That's what I'm driving, social governance.